let's apparently, here on the Rich Eisen Show, pour one out for the Pac-12 Conference. Pour one out. Just moments ago, reporting from The Athletic secondarily, but first, a college athletics reporter, John Wilner, reporting out that UCLA and USC are planning to leave for the Big Ten as early as 2024. This is right around the corner. They might join the Big Ten sooner than Texas and Oklahoma join the SEC, right?
Yep.
Our friend Bruce Feldman and Nicole Auerbach of The Athletic confirmed they're hearing the same thing. Bruce Feldman reporting that he hears that USC and UCLA are the ones who reached out to the Big Ten. It's not like the Big Ten saying, okay, we've got to keep up with the SEC getting Texas and Oklahoma. They're growing. It was USC and UCLA reaching out to the Big Ten. Now, when the Premier League and the good folks who love their football over across the pond, not just the Premier League, but so many iconic franchises of what we call soccer in Europe. You remember the Super League when they decided to leave the construct of their Premier League or Serie A, right?
Yep. Bundesliga.
Remember they decided to just, we're leaving behind the construct of football to create our own world. Okay? When that happened, and it lasted just a little bit less time than Bill Belichick spent as the head coach of the New York Jets. You know, it started and then it was over. But in that interim, when it was blowing everything up, figuratively, I said there's only one entity in American athletics, in American sport. You know it's serious when you say sports. Same thing when you talk about film or cinema in movies. Only one where that could happen here in the United States, and I said it was college football. And it is happening. If this happens, and USC and UCLA right down the road from us, if they leave Southern California to join a conference that is mostly 2 time zones away, that's the ball game, folks. And you know, if USC and UCLA are doing it, right now, somebody in the athletic department or the president's wing of the University of Oregon and possibly Washington right now, and everyone else too, I would say in the Pac-12, but certainly Oregon, they are calling up, they're calling everybody up. They're calling up Phil Knight. They're saying, Phil, what can you do to help us out here? Phil might be the one making the calls to say, wait a minute, if the Pac-12 is disintegrating, we got to be on that lifeboat too. And if it's a conference mostly based on the West Coast, the Pacific time zone, taking on a conference that is based mostly in the Eastern time zone and the Midwest part of our country, a national Super League is going to be formed. And whatever this entity is going to be, and whatever entity the SEC is growing into, it's only inevitable that they join forces too. And the accelerant of all of it is the name, image, and likeness deal that has caught everybody off guard. I believe it was 1 year ago tomorrow when it first, on July 1st, 2021, first came into legal existence. The name, image, and likeness deal that nobody in athletic departments were prepared for. Nobody in administration offices were prepared for. Certainly nobody in the NCAA was prepared for. Nobody. Not even the boosters were. Nobody. Everyone's like, oh, okay, see how it goes. And the idea that it could be, some guys get some T-shirts. We even came up with our own glue deal. You know, Buddy Garrity Dodge and whatever.
Happy, friend of the program.
Happy, friend of the program, Happy. Whatever Happy Kuykendall, situation was being set up. And wherever those guys were, they were just learning about it too. That's the accelerant. And everybody's going to try and figure this thing out best they can until some entity comes along and they create their own commissioner and they tell the NCAA, pound sand, I've told you I think it's going to be done under the umbrella of the college football playoff system, which is separate from the NCAA. A totally different entity. I'm telling you that's going to be the umbrella, and we're going to figure this thing out. And maybe is Clemson on the phone to Greg Sankey in the SEC?
They should be.
I mean, is that what's happening? Notre Dame will, of course, be independent because they're so highfalutin. But I mean, but they'll have to get on board. They're not going to be left out of this whole thing. No. Nor would this whole thing want to do without Notre Dame, for crying out loud, college football. I have no idea what it means for college basketball. I'm just talking about college football right now. Pete Thamel of the worldwide leader in sports can confirm they're exploring the move. The schools have been researching the move for the past few months. The financial disparity between the Big Ten revenue and projected Pac-12 revenue proved the biggest factor. The biggest obstacle had long been UCLA leaving behind Cal because it meant breaking away from the UC system, the University of California system, per sources. One Pac-12 source said they were stunned UCLA would make that move because that's the academics portion of it that we're talking about.
Right.
So UCLA and USC getting together saying, we're deuces out. Going to the Big Ten. I mean, road trips. Are you kidding me? And that's the other thing, too. It's just like, well, student athletics, get out of here with that now. Okay?
Yeah, cross-country trips to Rutgers
Maryland.
Do
you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, yeah, right in the middle.
State.
Like, midterms around the corner, but you need to take a 5-hour flight. You got to take a 5-hour flight to play a football game.
Right.
It's professional athletics. This is professional. When a team from California is going to be in the same conference, same league, same schedule as a team in New Jersey, that's a national system. You're going coast to coast. Maryland versus UCLA. You're seeing both oceans. That's not a regional conference. That's not a bunch of schools in the same region getting together so you could take a bus or a train to the games. This thing's over. This thing is over. If this happens, this is over. Oh, yeah, you're a student athlete. So just take your laptop and you can study on that 6-hour flight we're going to be taking back against the jet stream from Maryland all the way to Southern California. Oregon to Iowa. You better charter a flight. I don't think there's any directs. This thing's over. And the sooner you can figure it out, get everybody in the same room together, figure out which teams are coming, which teams are unfortunately gone. You could even figure out a relegation system. Come up with your own rules for name, image, and likeness. Tell the NCAA, get out of here. We don't need you. We're done. Set up 16 college football playoff teams, a whole hoo-ha. Conference championship things are a thing of the past. Forget it. Play your schedule. Pay the players, unionize them, and let's go. And just forget the kimono. Drop it. Drop it. And if the kids can get an education out of it too, all the better, man. Bonus. Cherry on top. Because as you know, in the grown-ass man's league that they're all trying to get to in the NFL, it is half of the rookie class. The average career. Let's not forget this. The average length of your career, average, of anybody who's drafted in the NFL, the average length of the career of everybody fortunate enough to have heard their name mentioned from a podium in Las Vegas, Nevada, or gotten a phone call from a team saying, we want you to come in as a free agent signee. Half, average. 3 years, 4 years, maybe if you extend it. got to figure out what else to do in life. And I think the new entity needs to have that focus as well. Yes, these kids are compensated. They have to be. And there is a tier system. There's a name, image, and likeness. Figure it out. Good Lord, we're talking about institutions of higher learning. There should be enough economists and thinkers and philosophers to figure it out. So that's what's happening.
Shout out Big 16.
I guess.
I mean,
Could still call it the Big Ten. I don't know. I don't know.
Someone had a funny tweet that Oregon's going to join the Live Tour.
That's, you know, that it's going to be. And all the other schools that don't make it into this world, they can have their own league. And they could be the old school folks who love their student athletes. And they do focus on the student part more than the athletes. And they can have guys who make it to the NFL. And they can have guys who succeed. And I'm talking about just college football here. I'm leaving out the rest of the athletic world because clearly that is a monumental Rubik's Cube to figure out. Again, I'm just talking about college football here because that is what drives the bus economically for every athletic program in the United States of America.
Fact.
And you best get on this bus, on the boat, whatever mode of transportation you want to say, before it ends. And the faster you just get to the realization that the world of the Galloping Ghost, Newt Rockne, my Michigan era, Bo Schembechler, you know, those worlds are done. Over. Again, a school that is just down the road from here. We could get to the campus at UCLA, barring the 405 the 405. No, we could get there in 20 minutes from here.
Oh, yeah, less than.
You know,
or an hour, just depending on traffic.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying right here. And then,
absolutely.
And then a school, like we could take a flight from LAX across the street from here, land in Newark 5.5 hours later. And the teams that are closest to those airports are UCLA and Rutgers. And they're in the same conference collegiately? Please. And you're going to talk to me about, well, it's about the kids. It's about the students. It's about their tests. It's about their scores. Yeah. Give me a break. Give me a break. And then, you know what the Big Ten can be? The Big Ten can be the 10 teams that are the biggest in the Big Ten. Those are the teams that Michigan will play.
Hey, this guy.
Those are the teams Michigan will play.
That's all right. You'll still let
whatever the best teams from the Pac-12 are going to be, that's who Michigan's going to play. And then every now and then Ohio State will get a year off from that. Wisconsin, they don't have to play. Well, why does Wisconsin have to play USC? What do they have?
Do you want an easier schedule?
You know what? No. I want a fair schedule. I want an equitable schedule. I already saw Big Cat tweeting out that, USC is going to go in the Big Ten East, right? Because, Wisconsin's in the Big Ten West. He's jokingly saying, take the best team from the Pac-12 and put it in the other division.
But they should both be in the West, right?
No, they'll be in the Big Ten East, right? Because that's where Michigan is. Michigan's got to play Ohio State every year, right? Got to play Penn State every year. Got to play Michigan State every year. Has to.
Right.
Do you say that about Penn State? Penn State's got to play Michigan State every year. Yeah, okay. Maybe not. 1 year they can have off.
But they don't have a rivalry with Michigan State.
It's great. I just want a fair one. That's all.
But what does the Pac-12 do? Do they go to get Boise State and San Diego State? Like, who do they get to fill the spot?
If this happens, Pac-12's over. It's over. Or the Pac-12 in its entirety joins the Big Ten in its entirety, and you're already 2/5 of the way to where I'm talking about, where it's an entire super league of
the
college
Power 5
football, the Power 5, which I know, schools that are currently in the Power 5, I hate that.
Well, just join one. I mean, it's what everybody's doing right now.
This is it. Train is leaving the station.
I mean, Oklahoma and Texas are going to be in the SEC.
But at least that's close to the Southeast.
It's closer.
I mean, you're in the Gulf South is closer to the Southeast than the Pacific Ocean is to the Atlantic Ocean.
It's been a while since I took geography. But,
this totally doesn't lift the kimono. It just rips it off and burns it. Done.